Tumayo at magsalita dahil hindi ako pwedeng manahimik kapag ang taong bayan na ang naargabyado. The budget season brings forth a lot of insights and realizations, Mr. President. It makes us ponder about the economic situation of our country. Taon-taon, hinaharap natin ang pare-parehong problema pagdating sa laman ng kaban ng ating ng bayan, tulad ng underspending at budget deficit. Palaging malaki ang budget pero kulang ang pera, Mr. President. In our country, government-owned or controlled corporations were created because market failures exist and the government needs to protect the interest of the public. It is the responsibility of the state to pursue a policy that serves the general welfare and utilizes all forms and arrangements of exchange on the basis of equality and reciprocity. Mr. President, ang masakit lang ay naibinta na ang ating mga major GOCCs involving social services such as water, electricity, and telecommunications. We are now reaping the consequences and paying at high cost. Kawawa ang taong bayan, Mr. President. In 1997, Mr. President, the Republic Act 8041 or the Water Crisis Act was passed, which led to the privatization of MWSS with the primary mandates of transferring the financial burden to the private sector, improving the service standards, increasing the operational efficiency, and minimizing the tariff impact, Mr. President. In the same year, the Philippine government entered into a 25-year concession agreement with water concessionaires Manila Water Co. and Manila Water Services, Inc. The contracts of the two water concessionaires, Mr. President, were supposed to expire on 2022, but were extended until 2037, Mr. President. On November 2019, the Manila Water won an arbitration case before an international tribunal and demanded that the Philippine government pay them an amount of 7.4 billion pesos, Mr. President, for the losses that they suffered from 2015 to 2019. The Department of Justice found out that certain provisions in the contracts are prejudicial to the interest not only to the government but more so of the consuming public. Mr. President, on our end, we need to conduct our own investigation since the Constitution vested the legislative with the power to amend, alter, or repeal any franchise or right it granted with the common good so requires. With this, Mr. President, I filed a Senate resolution calling for an investigation in aid of legislation into the alleged onerous contracts between the Philippine government and water concessionaires Manila Water Co. and Manila Water Services. Mr. President, kung tutusin, tambak-tambak ang ating problema sa ekonomiya. Nagkapatong-patong na ang ating mga paulit-ulit na suliranin. It is high time that we confront the real issues, Mr. President, no matter how tough and painful the process may be. Doon tayo sa tama, doon tayo sa totoo. The solutions to our problems will not be instant. This might even take more than a decade or so. But my point is, we must start somewhere. Ang ating pag-imbestiga sa mga water concessionaires ay umpisa lamang ng mas mahabang laban, Mr. President. We are solution providers. We will look for ways to uphold the interest of our fellow Filipinos and secure the future of the succeeding generation, Mr. President. Yun po ang masakit sa bansa natin. Masyadong napagsamantalahan. In reality, Mr. President, masyadong napagsamantalahan ng mga na mga corrupt na mga politician, Mr. President, kaya ang mga tao nagsuffer. Kaya ang mga tao naghihirap sa bansa natin dahil hindi inisip yung kapakanan ng gobyerno, hindi inisip ang kapakanan ng mga mamayang Pilipino, kundi iniisip ang mga individuals, private sectors, Mr. President, yung mga malalaking mga business sector, Mr. President. Nakakagalit. Pero kailangan natin kontrolin ang ating sarili, Mr. President, at idaan na lamang sa legislation at ayusin ang lahat ng mga problema. Kailangan natin magtulong-tulong. Hindi kaya ng Presidente i-solve ang problema ng ating bansa, kundi kailangan nila tayong lahat magkaisa para natin ma-resolve ang problema sa ating bansa. Kasi kung hindi mangyari yon, na magkaisa tayo, walang mangyayari sa bansa natin at lagi lang din tayong mag-uusap about sa problema kung walang solusyon na ginagawa. Maraming salamat.